welcome back to episode 3 of the Immune Series. Today's topic is Chinese herbal medicine, and we're going to be talking about the star of the show, which is Immune Plus. This is the herbal formula that I prescribe for immune boosting. It's the primary herbal formula I like to prescribe for my patients, and I take it every day for myself. It's typically an herbal formula that I would prescribe in the fall and winter months with the cold and flu season. However, with the new virus of the world and infections that are taking place, secondary infections, I'm recommending taking this herbal formula on a daily basis as a nutritional immune supplement booster for your system to protect you from pathogens entering into the body. So I'm going to be breaking down the immune system herbal formula, the herbs that are in it and their actions, and then I'm also going to break down the Chinese versus the Western medicine actions, and then we'll go over treatment planning and dosing depending on your body. So it's really an individual thing when it comes to dosing in regards to the patient's health. Let's do the thought of the day though. And speaking of the body, the thought of the day is listen to your body. It is always communicating with you. This one I got from my earseed colleagues. And it's such an important thing, and sometimes we tend not to do it in the hurry of the world. Maybe we're listening more now that we've been home more and slowed the pace down some, but really good to create that quiet space, meditation space, turning off the devices so we can tune in and listen to our body mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. So I encourage you all to do that. So we're going to go through each herb that's in the prescription. Please forgive me, I never took a formal training in Chinese language, so I'm going to do my best at pronouncing the pinyin name, and even the Latin names are hard to say, so I'm going to try to stick with the pinyin. But the chief herb in the Immune Plus formula is called Wang Qi. Now, a lot of you may have heard of Wang Qi. This is also known as astragalus, and this is a great herb that fortifies the lungs. So it's going to help to strengthen the lungs, and it's going to help protect and strengthen the Wei Qi, which I've talked about in episode 1 and 2 of the Immune Series. It's going to help strengthen our defensive Qi, the exterior, from pathogens entering into our body internally. So it's a really great, just also overall energetic herb that helps our energy and helps to tonify and strengthen. The second herb in the formula is called Bai Zhu, and this helps to strengthen the spleen organ system. The spleen organ system is important because it's related to our blood cells and also to our digestion, and we want to make sure that we've got a strong, healthy organ systems working with the digestion, because that helps to break down nutrients, helps to transform and transport the nutrients throughout the body, and helping to keep us well supported nutritionally. So really great strengthening herb for the spleen. The third herb is Wu Wei Zhi, and this is a great one for closing the skin pores. So if you're having perhaps the sweats, it's going to help stop sweating, and it's going to help to prevent exterior attack of wind. I talked about wind in episode 1 and 2. Might have just been episode 2. But the attack of wind is how we categorize a cold or a flu entering into the body, the pathogens, a wind cold or a wind heat. So this is going to help to protect the body, that particular herb, from those type of attacks. Our fourth herb is Fang Feng. This is an herb that helps to circulate the peripheral channels of the body and helps to expel the lingering pathogenic factors that exist when we're being attacked with viruses or bacteria. So it's going to help to circulate and move things along. Lings ER is the 5th herb in this formula. This is a key one as it increases our white blood cells, so important for fighting infection and inhibiting growth of various viruses and bacteria. It's also a tonifying herb for the blood, and then it also helps our vital energy. It's essential in rebuilding our underlying constitution. So if you tend to have a delicate, more deficient constitution, very good. And if you've just gotten over being sick, you definitely want to be rebuilding your constitution. So that particular herb, Lings ER, will help to do that. Now our 6th herb, and the one that's probably the hardest for me to say, is Dong Zhang Shi Xiao. So say that 3 times fast. This one helps to tonify the kidney yin and yang. It helps to improve overall body constitution. So another one that's going to help to build and boost the constitution of our bodies. Very important when it comes to immune strengthening. So now we're going to break down therapeutic actions both from a Chinese medicine perspective and a Western medicine perspective. So let's start with the Chinese. Chinese actions are consolidates the Wei Qi, the defensive Qi, helps to dispel lingering pathogens, and it also helps to tonify the normal Qi and strengthen the body. It also keys into the primary organ systems for the immune system, the lungs, the kidney, and the spleen organ systems. In a Western medicine perspective, which you might relate more to for actions, is it's going to enhance the overall immune system and boost the white blood cells, which help to fight infection. It also has anti-cancer properties, activity, which inhibits the growth of cancer cells. Now, I did not realize this until I was reviewing this immune system herbal formula. So this was came to me in a very positive light because I come from 2 parents that passed away of cancer. So anything we can do to inhibit the growth of cancer cells, mutation of cells, keeping our cells in good, healthy integrity is something that we all want. This is also a good herbal formula for patients that are going through chemo and radiation therapy. So it's going to be a good supportive therapy for patients that are currently going through that. And even if they've completed it, it would be a good one to get on post, unless their oncologist is telling them not to, because sometimes they're not wanting added herbs or any other supplements added into the patient's overall treatment plan. If the patient was just seeing me and they were going in a plant medicine Eastern approach, then this herbal formula would be a great support to their system. Now, for Western medicine, it's also going to help inhibit the growth of harmful bacteria and boost energy and vitality of the body. So, very good in boosting our qi, overall qi. For treatment planning and dosing, I recommend doing more in the beginning when I'm prescribing herbs, because we're repairing and stabilizing, especially if you have that deficient underlying constitution. We want to be building and strengthening in the repair and stabilize phase. So that means we're going to want to be doing a greater dose of grams with our herbs. Later on, as the patient becomes stronger and they're not in perhaps a more high risk area where there are infections, viruses or bacteria going around, then they might decide they want to go lower to a maintenance dose. And that's something that I go over in my Chinese medicine consultations, either by telemedicine, can do it video conferencing over the phone, and then I also do it live when we're not in self-quarantine. So, but currently I've been doing most of my consults via the telemedicine. Really great way. We want to be getting a thorough history of the patient, find out if they have any immune disorders, really go back in their history over time to get a really good, thorough, history, exam, diagnostics as best we can if we're doing it telemedicine. Finding out what the overall constitution of the patient is. So depending on that, it's going to be dependent on the dosing. And then you really want to stay in communication with your Eastern medicine doctor to make sure that you're doing the appropriate dosing for yourself, and then also that you're not having any untoward effects. Fortunately, with plant medicine, there's usually not too many side effects that can occur. If you're taking too many grams, it can sometimes give you an upset stomach or a loose stool, and then we would modify the dosage. We also want to be looking at, do we want to add something more into the herbal, like a herbal medicine, like another herbal formula or another single herb, or do we want to change up the herbal formula that you're on? So it's really important once you get on your herbal medicine to be staying in communication if you're not seeing your practitioner live, be it every 2 to 3 weeks, a month at the most. But especially in the beginning, it's better to stay in more communication. So tips for taking your herbs: you want to take your herbs with warm water or room temp water. You do not want to take it with juice, as it can neutralize the herbs. You don't want to take it with tea. Now, there are two ways or two formulations of the herbs, and one is the capsule, which is the most popular of the herb world, customer friendly, very convenient, and you can take it on the go. So the capsules, you're going to have to take a little bit more to get your number of grams in for the day. And then the powder, you're going to mix this with warm water, and you're going to want to make sure that you're getting all the herbs out of the cup. So you'll be dosing it with the little spoon that comes with your herbs, and I would go over all that with you. And then you would be mixing that with your warm water, and you keep filling this up with water and drinking until all the sediment's out, so you're getting the full dose of all the herbs in there. The granular powder formula is going to take you out probably at least 2 to 3 weeks, whereas the capsules will probably take you out 10 days, maybe longer, depending on what dosing we have you on. But the capsules will go quicker, especially in the beginning, if we've got you on a bolus dose, a higher dose. So that's the way that the herbs can come, both powder and both capsule. Now, a case study I wanted to share with you before we conclude today, so you have just an idea of a presentation here. So there's a 42-year-old female who's overworked and under constant stress. She wanted to enhance her immune system as her health was compromised by stress and exhaustion. She was prescribed Immune Plus, taking 2 capsules 3 times daily, and during the 7 months of taking her herbs, she had no illness or symptoms. So pretty profound, and there's many other case studies I could share both personally and out of my manual. But just know that it's a very powerful immune strengthener, and plant medicine, all plant medicine. So this concludes episode 3. Stay tuned for episode 4, because we're going to dive into herbal formulas that help treat bacterial and traditional virus infections, and also the common cold. So that'll be an important one. You're going to want to subscribe, hit the bell icon twice so you'll be notified when the next video comes out. Please give it a thumbs up. That helps support our channel. And I'm sending you much light, love, and lots of healing. Be gentle with yourself and follow me